Nita Penfold, My Points. My points. Come to me hard-fisted, with mean mouths. They are not polite ladies, will not be still. They won't stay where I put them, nor keep my secrets. I like their red, rough hands, their red grins, the way they yank and unravel my bindings, and won't let me sleep until they loose my soul. Second one is Alice Walker's I Said to Poetry. I said to poetry, I'm finished with you. Having to almost die before some weird light comes creeping through is no fun. No thank you, creation, no muse and apply. I'm out for good times. At the very least, some painless convention. Poetry laid back and played dead until this morning. I wasn't sad or anything, only restless. Poetry said, you remember the desert and how glad you were that you have an eye to see it with? You remember that, if ever so slightly? I said, I didn't hear that. Besides, it's 5 o'clock in the a.m. I am not getting up in the dark to talk to you. Poetry said, but think about the time you saw the moon over the small canyon that you liked much better than the grand one, and how surprised you were that the moonlight was green and you still had one good eye to see it with. Think of that. I'll join the church, I said huffily, turning my face to the wall. I'll learn how to pray again. Let me ask you, said Poetry, when you pray, what do you think you'll see? Poetry had me. There's no paper in this room, I said, and that new pen I bought makes a funny noise. Bullshit, said Poetry. Bullshit, said I. Now, both Nita Penfold and Alice Walker use the technique of personification. That means they're adding human characteristics to that which is non-human. In this case, they're taking poetry and they're giving it almost an antagonistic role in this poem. Poetry is just harassing the fool out of them, annoying them, picking at them, doing whatever it has to do to be created. One storyteller says in a biography video of Tiata, she makes the comment that the stories demand to be told. And that's essentially what both Alice Walker and Nita Penfold are saying here. The poetry is demanding that it be birthed through them, demanding that it take life and be created through them. And they are fighting that, tired of it, fighting it, don't want to be slaves to it, but nevertheless, poetry is going to win in the end. And they're both reluctant, and yet you can tell both in the end very happy for being a part of that creative process and being blessed with that ability to create. So both of those are really good in that respect. Also, you'll note that they have some uses of initial alliteration. That's the beginning consonant sounds like comes creeping through, mean mouths, rough, ready grins, things like that. That's some examples of initial alliteration there. All right, the third poem in this section is called Linda Paston's To a Daughter Leaving Home. A wonderful metaphor. It's a comparison of the literal riding of a bicycle, a child's first free ride, alone, which is compared to the figurative letting go of the child as they grow up and go on with their lives. It's just a beautiful piece. It's kind of a snapshot of life. When I taught you at 8 to ride a bicycle, loping along beside you as you wobbled away on 2 round wheels, my own mouth rounding in surprise when you pulled ahead down the curved path of the park, I kept waiting for the thud of your crash as I sprinted to catch up, while you grew smaller, more breakable with distance, pumping for your life, screaming with laughter, the hair flapping behind you like a handkerchief waving goodbye. Just a very lovely piece. And it's kind of got that end, the hair being compared to a handkerchief is a simile that's embedded in this big metaphor. So it's a beautiful little snapshot of life, though. Okay, that section's good to go.